So again, I am going back to Thailand, and this time I was with my mom and some other friends, also together with Jody, yung kasama ko last time. This time, instead of flying to Cebu or Manila, direct yung flight namin from Davao to Singapore. Again, transit ulit kami sa Singapore for a night before flying to Bangkok the next day. On time naman yung flight namin, and we arrived in Singapore at around 11:30 in the evening, which was supposed to be the time that we would actually arrive. Medyo natagalan nga lang kami sa terminal kasi yung iba nag-withdraw pa, yung iba nagpa-change pa ng pera, and then I also had to buy an early breakfast for mama because, may mga diabetes, hindi pwedeng bumaba yung sugar. Dahil marami kami, we booked a coach van para mahatid kaming lahat at once dun sa hotel na pagsistayhan namin. Because before we used to book separately, and we realized na mas mahal siya compared sa magbubook kami ng isang malaking coach van na paghahati-hatian lang namin yung bayad. Mag-aalas 2 na nung dumating kami sa hotel namin dahil nga sa sobrang daming mga activities pa sa airport terminal. We were quite tired, pero syempre at the same time very very excited dahil sa flight namin kinabukasan papuntang Thailand. So yung hotel na nabook namin was Ibis Budget Singapore Hotel. Marami siyang branches, and yung kinuha namin at this night was Pearl. So, it's still quite expensive considering na nasa Singapore kami. But then, we would be staying for one night lang naman din. So, that was already okay. Compared dun sa hotel na pinagstayhan namin ni Jody before when we were in transit sa Singapore, mas maganda tong hotel na to. So, maliit lang siya. Wala siyang masyadong amenities. But it was already very comfortable. The next day, we booked for a van pick-up papuntang hotel at 9 in the morning. So, mom and I woke up early. We prepared early para makapamasyal-masyal din kami sa labas ng hotel before our travel to the airport. So, naghanap na din kami ng mabibilhan ng breakfast, makakainan ng breakfast. And marami namang mga kainan na malapit dun sa hotel, pero most of them were Indian food. And just a little ways away from the hotel, na kaya namang lakarin, marami kang makikitang mga different restaurants where you can eat breakfast or early lunch. Eventually, we almost decided na doon na lang bumili ng pagkain sa 7-Eleven, tapos kainin na lang sa hotel before our check-out. But then, while looking for the 7-Eleven, may nadaanan kaming kainan. It's just a small eatery na parang karinderya lang. They sold Chinese food and mura lang siya and masarap naman din. So, doon na lang din kami kumain ng breakfast namin para hindi na rin kami mahirapan pang maghanap ng ibang kainan. We arrived at the airport 15 minutes before Jewel Changi would open. So, naglakad-lakad na lang kami ng konti, and eventually Jewel Changi opened at 10 in the morning. So, we decided to just explore the place and take pictures and also eat early lunch na lang din dun sa food court nila before going to our terminal kung saan kami maghihintay ng boarding for our flight to Thailand. So, wala na yung Marvel na attractions ng Jewel at this time. So, they were already preparing for Christmas, and may nilagay na silang malaking Christmas tree sa gitna ng entrance. We also enjoyed the view, and of course, the infamous rain vortex na hindi pwedeng hindi bisitahin pag dumaan ka ng Jewel Changi. After our photo op sa rain vortex and sa Christmas tree, we decided to go up to the 5th floor para dun sa mga ibang attractions pa ng Jewel. So we wanted to try the canopy walk. So actually, we wanted our parents to try the canopy walk. We realized na medyo may kamahalan yung entrance to the canopy walk, and since I've already experienced it before, I was like, it's not that worth it. So hindi na lang namin tinuloy. Dumiretso na lang kami sa boarding gate. After passing the immigration and waiting a little while dun sa boarding gate, it was already time for our flight to Bangkok. So this was the time when all hell broke loose. So I just had to share it. Halfway through our flight, it was already announced na nagde-descend na kami. So it was just a few minutes away na lang. I think around 20-30 minutes before we finally landed. The skies were already a little rough at that time. So medyo malakas na yung turbulence. So the entire time that we were cruising, on and off yung seatbelt sign. Kasi nga, magta-turbulence ng malakas and then smooth ulit and then magta-turbulence ng malakas, which was actually normal in flying across Southeast Asia, but that was quite different. And then there was one fell swoop. So I think it was around 15 minutes na lang. So we were already descending to Bangkok at that time when the plane went through a very, very thick rain cloud. It was a very huge storm cloud and the turbulence was crazy. So it rocked the plane side by side, and then the plane descended rapidly and then shook side by side, descended rapidly. So it happened 3 to 4 times na para kaming nasa roller coaster. So fortunately, all of the passengers inside were wearing the seatbelt kasi nga naka-turn on na yung seatbelt sign. You know, I was screaming every time the plane would descend, and I kept on praying to, you know, to just keep us safe, to just safely land us on the ground. And fortunately, we did land safely. The pilots, they apologized for that sudden turbulence. You know, it was quite sudden. You know, they also didn't expect it. Even the flight attendants, the cabin crew, they looked so worried because again, they weren't expecting that rough of a turbulence. And one of my friends, he also overheard the cabin crew talking na first time daw nila na maka-experience ng ganun ka lakas na turbulence, and it was really scary. I've experienced the worst before when we were traveling from Davao to Malaysia, but I thought that was the worst that I would have experienced until the Singapore-Bangkok flight. The Singapore-Bangkok flight was the worst ever that I've experienced, and I really, really hope that in my next flying journeys, hindi ko na ma-experience yung ganon. So it was really scary, and I commend the pilots for still being able to control the plane and land it safely into the ground in Bangkok. Once again, we were picked up by our quote-unquote tour guide, Jody's husband, Rene. Meron kaming hinire na van for our entire stay in Thailand para komportable naman kami. Yung van na yun nanding yung sumundo sa amin sa airport. And then on our way to the hotel, umulan ng napakalakas. Like, hindi naman siya bagyo-ish, but it was a thunderstorm and malakas siya. And we were like, wow, ito yun dinaanan natin kanina. ito yun. Ito yung nagpa-anxiety sa atin ng bonggang-bongga. And yeah, bumagsak talaga siya by the time that we were on our way to our hotel. Dumating kami sa hotel na parang mga basang sisiu. So instead of going out for dinner, after namin mag-check-in sa hotel, we didn't have a choice. We just stayed inside the room and waited for the rain to stop. Unfortunately, it didn't stop. So the next na plan namin was to book Grab delivery, no, para magpa-deliver na lang ng food. At unfortunately, medyo nahirapan din kami kasi walang rider na gustong mag-pick up kasi nga sobrang lakas ng ulan. Bimbo, Bench, and I decided na lumabas and, magpayong na lang and maghanap ng pwedeng mabilhan ng makakainan. So, we decided to look for a nearest 7-Eleven. Sobrang pagod kami, sobrang traumatized pa kami from the flight. So, we just decided to go and buy some food outside. So anyway, this was our room in our hotel. So our hotel is called the Orchid House 153. It was located near Kausan Road. Concept niya is vintage, na parang ancestral house.